the pledge and prayer. Call the meeting to order. Today is Thursday, December 11th. Regular council meeting for the city of Tallulah. At this time, we'll have the pledge and the prayer.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Father God, we come to you with humble hearts and thanksgiving in our heart. Father, we ask that you look and have mercy on this meeting today. Father, we know that you say where there's unity, there's strength. Able us to work together for the unity of Tallulah, Lord. Lord, give us the wisdom and understanding that we need to do what is right for this city. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. Got a pretty lengthy agenda tonight. I'm a little under the weather, so I'm going to ask if we can stick to the agenda as much as possible and try to stay on task. Gerald, if you could give us a roll call, please.
Okay, Wells.
Here.
Day.
Here.
Harris.
Here.
Houston. Scott.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum. Are there any public comments on the agenda?
Well, I have one public comment, Mayor. I am requesting for someone, a spokesperson from Magnolia, to be present to answer citizens' questions in regards to their high water bill. And my response that I received from you stated that no one from Magnolia will be able to attend the meeting due to short notice. But however, on our call on Monday, we had a spokesperson from Magnolia that scheduled the meeting. I thought actually we was hosting, having the meeting called, I thought you had hosted. But Mr. Ezel stated several times that he organized the meeting. So my concern is, how is it that we can't contact them to hear citizen concerns, but they can contact us for a meeting? And I think that when we have citizens that have questions about astronomical water bills, we need to be able to speak to someone in regards to that. And I have one constituent, who didn't mind me calling his name, Derek White, said he's been reaching out to you for several months now, and no one has ever given him the information. He can't reach anyone from Magnolia to get any type of response. And so if they can schedule a meeting and you make sure that we are afforded the opportunity to join that meeting, then I'm trying to figure out why you can't reach out to them for them to come and speak to our constituents. That's a major problem for me.
Okay, so issues about bills are not going to be able to be answered in this meeting. There's no information that they're going to have about specific accounts or anything like that. So it makes more sense to me for those issues to be handled during business hours. If any of your constituents have issues, they can come up here. We can look into it and see what's going on. As far as Mr. White, I did reach out to him the day before yesterday. I had Magnolia Patterson go over. They changed the meter at his house. So I'm going to give you all a little background on this information. The household was using probably about 7,000 gallons of water a month, and it went up astronomically to about 73,000.
Well, I don't think we should get into it.
Okay.
The specifics is the fact that he had concerns about not being reaching anyone from Magnolia.
Okay, so as I was saying, the usage went up quite a bit. And so we had Peterson go out, they did a leak detection, however they do that, there was no leak. The gentleman said that he had the toilets replaced. He does not believe that there is an issue with the toilets. And right now, how they are reading meters, they go around and they have to take a picture of the reading itself, right? So if the reading my understanding is the reading does not match what's put in, then the system will kick it back or show some sort of error. So Mr. White has been going through this for a long time. I did have the meter at his house changed day before yesterday, sent him some information. I also have the gentleman's going back to find the pictures of the last 3 readings to make sure that everything was in place. So we have been in contact with Mr. White. Again, as I say, specific questions about water bills can't be answered in these meetings. There's no information that, nobody can say, here's what's happened or whatever. They come, I understand that, people are complaining or whatever the case may be. It's just my belief that those questions are better answered during business hours when we can look into those things.
Let me go back to this one. Because the issue is not Patterson. Patterson leaders called that there's no leak detector, but the bill is astronomical for several citizens. And it doesn't have to be at a council meeting. I've said we have special meetings for things that really we can do in the council meeting, we don't. So I'm just saying, we should be able to have some representative from Magnolia to come to meet with constituents with their concerns. They scheduled a meeting for us, and you made sure that we was able to attend that meeting. So I think as the mayor of the city of Tallulah, you have citizens that are concerned about astronomical water bills from a private company. I think we should be able to tell them, no, we need to come have you guys to answer questions. Listen, when they call customer service, there's no type of resolution given. Except we have a leak forgiveness program. If there's no leak, then how can you forgive? So I think that we should have Magnolia to come. If we're gonna jump when they call us, then they should move for us as well. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, thank you. Are there any other public comments on the agenda? Okay, if not, we'll go to the next item on the agenda, approve the letter of resignation from City Attorney Pamela Brady. My understanding is that was emailed to you all, this morning. It was not in the packet. So, in the past, when we haven't had items prior to the 24 hours, you guys have not addressed those items. It's up to you all how you'd like to handle this.
No, I wasn't accepted, but however, in her original thing, she stated she was gonna stop December 31st. But on
Right.
this letter now, she's extended to January 9th.
Right, I asked her to go to January 9th because we don't want to be caught without an attorney.
But she told us in October she was leaving December 31st.
Okay, so the letter in front of you has a January 9th date. How would you all like to address
Not
this?
accepted, it's not 24 hours. So
Okay, so we're not going to address this? Okay,
we'll go to the original date of December 31st, because that's what she said originally, and you told us about it.
her letter of, okay, so the council has the letter in front of them. The actual letter of resignation has a date of January 9th. That is the letter of resignation. Would you guys like to take action on this tonight, or would you like to postpone this?
You think we're gonna have a replacement of a lawyer by then?
I sure hope so. That's why I asked her to stay on till the 9th. Okay, so is there a motion to table this item?
I motion that we accept it, the letter of resignation, she resigning.
Okay, we have a proper motion by Mrs. Day. Is there a second?
But we also have a conflict, we have a conflict, because her original communication, I said she was gonna resign effective December 31st.
So the letter of resignation, which you all have in front of you, says January 9th. This is the letter of resignation. There has been no other letter of resignation. She did say that she was planning on leaving December 31st. She has extended that, and the letter of resignation that you have in front of you from the attorney says January 9th. We have a proper motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I say so.
Okay. Motion by Mrs. Day, second by Mr. Scott. We have a roll call vote, please.
Wells,
No.
Day,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Houston. Scott,
Yes,
Okay, motion passes. Next on the agenda is two of the attorneys that we're gonna have here. We have expressed some interest in the city attorney position with both of them, so I've asked them to both come tonight to introduce themselves to the council, and allow the council to ask some questions. We won't be making a decision tonight, but I did want to afford opportunity for the council and for the audience to meet these two individuals. So the first individual is attorney, and I want to make sure I say your name correctly. Darnicia? Denicia, okay, Denicia Miley. She is an attorney out of Monroe. Full disclosure for everyone, I did go to high school with Miss Miley's mother and several members of her family. So I just wanted everybody to know that. So if you'd like to come forward, would appreciate it.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Just wanted to know if you could tell us a little bit about your background, what type of law you practice, if you have any municipal law experience. The city of Tallulah is a Larson Act municipality. You know, if you're familiar with that, you are great. If not, you know, it's something that you can learn. So we'll let you have the floor, ma'am.
Well, just to start off, honestly, I'm really not familiar with municipal law, but I'm a quick learner, and I have vast experience in law in general. From Monroe, Louisiana. I did attend Southern University Law School in Baton Rouge, went to ULM Monroe, and also received my master's from Bill Hagen University in Mississippi. I've been practicing for about 11 years, so I'm licensed in Louisiana. I'm also licensed in the state of Texas. Been licensed for about 3 years from Texas as well, so I do some law there. Initially starting off, I didn't jump right out there. I'm a person that likes to learn. And if you know me, you'll see that I'm an open book. I'm by the book. So let me say that. And I'm a very personable person. When I'm saying that, I've clerked with several judges. So I've seen both sides of the law. And when I jumped out there, I too practice in some real estate law, domestic violence. I did IDB work for a while, and currently now I have my own practice, the Banks Mighty Law Firm in Monroe, Louisiana. So that is my main source there. I'm also a professor. I teach at B. Graham State University. I'm proud of that. I teach in criminal justice just because I am really big on the youth. I also work in ministry. My father's a pastor, and so I work with them. That's just some personal information there. I'm married 17 years, 3 children. Back to the law. In doing that, I have done various areas of law. I did some civil rights law, general practitioner, so I do a lot of family law, criminal law, expungements, anything there. For me, it's really about the people. About doing the right thing. I'm a very headstrong person. Just to put it out there, I believe in what I believe in. I believe in doing what's right. So I stand firmly on doing that. And so, as I said earlier, I am a person that's by the book. You know, I follow the letter of the law. I don't really sway on emotions and all of that. I'm about doing the right thing. And so, I study a lot. I believe that you should be a person that's always learning. That's why I teach. Also doing additional classes now. I never stop learning. So one of the things like with the Larson Act, just to be honest with you, that was the first that I had really heard about it. And so I've been reading more about it. I'm very interested in it. I'm a person, I don't really believe in glass ceilings. So that's another area that I'm interested in and working. And I thought that this would be a great opportunity for me is because I'm not familiar with Tallulah at all. So I think that that's great coming in. But I'm also very fair and impartial. I want to hear everything. I want to make sure that we're following all of the rules correctly. So that's something that I'm interested in. So I'm happy to be here. I'm happy for the recommendation either way. But I think that this was a great opportunity for me, and I'm open to it. Yeah.
Any questions from the council?
Okay, well, I have a question. Of course, I reached out to you.
Yes.
And the reason why I reached out to you because I called around and I asked people, I said, who would be a lawyer that you would recommend for the city of Tallulah who would do what's right by the people, follow the letter of law, and give us the right advice to move Tallulah forward? And your name came out top. And so I turned your name in to Enroman Lewis to be coming to speak before the council with a possible recommendation of being a city attorney. You stated that you're not very familiar with the Larson Act. Are you willing to learn about the Larson Act, the Louisiana Municipal Association, which we're a part of, just to be well versed as a city attorney?
Absolutely. Just to refer to what I said earlier, I'm constantly learning and looking at it. And then after spending a few days on it and reading a little bit about how Tallulah operates and what's been going on recently, some of the things with sewage and water, kept abreast of that. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to learn it, and it is not anything that I can't find out. I mean, we have resources. You know, there's associations we can call, we can figure it out, and we can talk about things to really hear the concern of the people and the concern of you all in doing that. So I am definitely willing to learn in doing that, and I would like to divulge that I did reach out to Attorney Brady, just because I wanted to see who was the current attorney. We did speak. We didn't really go into a lot of details, but she told me she was very helpful, very resourceful. She extended herself to say if there's anything that I needed to learn, she could, and she made it make sense for me, lawyer to lawyer. So I enjoyed that conversation with her. We had a lot in common. As far as even I think some of our work, I went to school with some of our workers, so it was a good experience. But in hearing just on the law, because I wanted to make sure I'm not going to put myself out there if there's something I can't do. As you heard, I do a lot of things, but I'm able to balance those things. And so in talking to her, that was my reason for reaching out to her. I know I didn't really divulge it. I think I divulged it to Mayor Lewis that I did do that. I wanted to make sure in hearing that I was even more so interested.
Any other comments? So as Councilman Wells said, the Louisiana Municipal Association is a great resource. Additionally, the Louisiana Attorneys Association, you know, as always. I think you are acquainted with Senator Jackson, and so you know, she's always open to help in any way that she can. So I think not having a lot of experience with the Larson Act isn't, you know, a negative. You know, we can all learn. We're all learning. I don't know everything in the Larson Act either, so so we would all be learning together. Any other comments from the council?
Jay, one thing I know about the legislators is that you're a teacher.
Yes, sir.
I respect, I've been doing business with teachers for 29 years. If you do that and teach that you know the law, doesn't matter what it is, my hat's off to you, buddy.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much. We appreciate
Thank
it.
y'all for having me.
Thank you. And I know you have to get back on the road, so you're welcome to, you know, leave whenever you want to, okay? All right, next up is Attorney Michael Ellington. So I had a conversation with the mayor of Waterloo, Mayor Botley, and asked him, you know, who was their attorney, how are you? And your name came up in that conversation. And then I reached out to Mayor Wallace over in Winsboro. Winsboro has a city attorney. That gentleman has been with them for, I don't know, 50 years or so. He's getting ready to retire. And so she said, but I have someone that I'd like to recommend, and your name was given again. So I actually extended the invitation to Mr. Ellington to come tonight. So we will give you the same opportunity that we provided to Ms. Miley, Mrs. Miley.
Thank you. Michael Ellington. I am 40. I am from Winsboro. I'm married. I have 2 young girls, 9 and 6. I went to undergrad in Baton Rouge, LSU, went to law school at Southern, graduated law school in 2017, went to work for the Department of Insurance. I was their legislative liaison. I also clerked during law school at the AG's office. I am ADA in the 5th JDC, which is Franklin, Richland, and West Carroll. I do misdemeanors and child support. I represent probably 10 or so towns at this point. I have a private practice. Do a lot of real estate law. Some personal injury. I don't do any divorce law. I don't do any criminal defense work. That's pretty much it.
Any, the other municipalities that you represent, are any of them Larson Act?
Yes, ma'am. I believe they all are.
Okay. So you're kind of familiar with Larson Act and how that works?
Somewhat, yes, ma'am. I rely on the LMA, pretty heavily. They're a great resource, so.
When did you work for the Attorney General?
2010 through probably 2013, 2014, something like that. It was. My supervisor was an adjunct professor, Southern, so, that was a lot of fun, getting that professor as a supervisor, learned a lot.
Education.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, any questions from the council?
Mr. Scott said, he asked a question about work for attorney. Who was the attorney general that you worked for during that time?
I worked for two attorney generals. I worked for Buddy Caldwell and I worked for Landry.
Buddy Caldwell. Yeah. Okay. He used to be the district attorney here in Tallulah for a long time, for a long time.
Yes.
Right. So we got familiar with Tallulah House.
Yes, sir. I am.
Are you related to Noble Ellington?
I am. He told me to tell y'all, hey.
What's your relationship to Noble Ellington?
One of them is my dad and one of them is my grandfather. The one y'all know is probably my grandfather.
You said you represent 10 towns.
Something like that. Please don't ask me to give you the exact number. It's quite a few.
So how would you juggle that? I mean, how does that work?
Relying on my paralegal a good bit. Relying on y'all to keep me abreast of what's going on. Communication and just a lot of work, I suppose.
I'm assuming they're all pretty close to here, huh?
Bonita is the furthest, waterproof, well, furthest north, waterproof, furthest south. Collingston, there's another town over there. I always get confused with Collingston.
What's maybe one of the biggest ones, or is it about the same size as they represent?
Tallulah would probably be the biggest. Most of them are small towns. Waterproof, Baskin, Gilbert, Collinston, Bonita. Mangum.
Okay, that's just a question. I have a question. You say you represent 10 municipalities.
Something like that.
That's a lot. That's a lot. And
But they're all small.
okay, let me finish. The size doesn't matter. But that's a lot of municipalities,
It is.
which there can possibly be. Now let's say if there was a situation where the city of Tallulah and a municipality you represent have some type of conflict or a legal matter that involves both municipalities, how would you handle that?
Probably refer that particular conflict issue to outside counsel.
So now, who would have to pay for that referral to the outside counsel? That the city of Tallulah.
It'd be the same terms basically.
Right, so the city of Tallulah have to pay another outside firm to do that.
You pay one attorney for that
Right.
case.
Which would be another attorney outside.
You wouldn't pay me for
Right,
that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, I'm just saying, 10 municipalities is gonna be a lot. And
I'm not worried about the conflict situation as much as I'm worried about the workload.
the workload, that's what I'm getting at. And then being an assistant district attorney, that's a lot
A lot of work.
of work.
It's a lot of work.
A lot of work. And so I just think that, me personally, the city of Tallulah, we need an attorney that doesn't have a heavy workload. Because we have a lot of stuff that's gonna be going on pretty soon that's gonna require some time, energy, and some effort to really get it done. And so I just think that we need to be mindful when we begin to select the city attorney.
And Councilman, if I may, that was part of the reason, I was coming tonight, was to kind of find out what y'all's expectations were as far as y'all's town attorney. What types of cases or tasks y'all's town attorney is typically tasked with, how many council meetings y'all want the town attorney to come to, all of that kind of stuff. I'm gonna be honest with you, you know, if I don't think I have time for it, I'll tell you. But without knowing what y'all would expect, I can't answer that.
Anyone else have any other comments or questions? All right, Mr. Ellington, thank you so much. We
Thank you,
appreciate
ma'am.
you, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
While we're on the same subject, I did reach out to Karen White. Karen White was a former attorney for the Louisiana Municipal Association. She is now, and then she did work for the governor's office. She's now in private practice. I did have a very brief conversation with her, well, not brief, but a conversation with her about this position. She would not be able to do it simply because she lives in Baton Rouge, so proximity is first. The second thing is she was a lot, she didn't have as much on her table, you know, back when we had the first conversation, but now the people know that she's in private practice. She's kind of got snatched up by a lot of people down in Baton Rouge. She's got a lot of municipal experience, so just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that I had that conversation with her, and she did politely decline. Also, another name that I mentioned to the council was a local attorney, Joy Jackson, who also serves as our city magistrate. I did reach out to the ethics department just to see if she could do the dual role. They did not answer the question, but they did refer me to the Attorney General's office. So I did send a letter to the Attorney General's office just to see if she could. But I did not invite her tonight because I don't know if she's going to be able to do both of those jobs. So that's why she was not invited tonight. And I had mentioned her name to the council, so I just want you guys to know.
Okay, so I'm glad you did that, man. Because my first, and nothing against Mr. Ellington, but my first hearing his name was in our agenda because you never communicated his name to me as a council person. I don't know if you spoke to anyone else.
I did not. I just actually found out about him yesterday. Which is why I invited him tonight, so that you guys would have an opportunity to speak with him.
I just thought maybe when you found out you could send it to us because you asked us to send you any names. So I just thought if you asked us, then you find someone you give to us like you did Attorney Jackson and Karen White, that's all.
Okay, anyone else have any questions on this item? If not, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is to approve the minutes of the special meeting from November 13th. Does anybody have any corrections, changes, additions, deletions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes of the November 13th special meeting.
I make a motion to accept.
Okay, we have a proper motion by Mr. Scott. Is there a second?
We're looking on page number 2 of the 13th meeting, and where it says about the annual pre-budget compliance questionnaire. You said that it was put before the council, it was agreed that some corrections should be made before a final vote was taken, and the council consequently tabled it to the next meeting pending those corrections being made. I think that should be added.
Okay, are there any other changes or additions or deletions? Okay, so Mr. Scott, is it okay if your motion to approve the minutes of the special meeting for November 13th include the sentence with the necessary corrections?
Absolutely.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a proper motion by Mr. Scott, second by Mrs. Day. All in favor say aye. Any opposed?
Yes.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the special council meeting for November 24th.
Got a correction.
Okay.
Yes, Harris present. What you should have asked.
Would you repeat that?
We have Harris present.
For your roll call.
Oh.
She was
For your roll
absent.
call.
Okay. Are there any other corrections? Okay, no other corrections. Is there a motion to accept the minutes of the special council meeting for November 24th with the necessary corrections and
Now,
necessaries.
When it goes to the bottom page of the bottom of page number 1, when it says in regular session, Councilmember Scott moved for approval and ordinance to approve the municipal budget for the city of Tallulah for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025, ending June 30, 2026. I want to make sure, is that going to be the official budget that's approved for the city that we're doing for our general funds and special revenue?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I want you to know for that budget, I want a copy of the minutes for that meeting after we finish of the approval, and I want to emphasize that. Just make sure I'll get a copy of the notes.
Okay, so, approve the minutes of the special meeting for November 24th. Is your motion with the necessary correction?
A motion that we approve the November 24th special meeting minutes.
Okay. And a proper motion by Mrs. Day. Is there a second? Or second by Mr. Scott. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Okay. Okay. I want to just let you guys know, at the end of the November 24th meeting, after we had adjourned, Councilman Wells asked the question, what was the effective date on the budget ordinance? Okay, and he asked the question a couple different times, did not receive an answer. So that sort of prompted me to go and do a little reviewing to see why that question was asked. So what I found out was on the budget itself, there's a line about the effective date of the budget, of the effective date of the ordinance, I'm sorry. So the Lawson Act says if on the budget ordinance itself, the instrument itself, if you do not put an effective date, which is either, sooner or later than the date of the ordinance, then the ordinance will not go into effect until 30 days later. So when we file that ordinance over in the clerk's office, the effective date is December 24th. The reason that comes up and why that's important is, as you all know, our budget was late and we were operating off of 50% of last year's budget, okay? So if on that night, on November 24th, if we had said that the effective date was the 24th, then we would have been within the 50%. We would have been still within the 50%. But because we did not know that, I didn't know that. It was something that I learned. We did not put that date, and so we have to abide by the December 24th date. So the budget will actually go into place, go into effect on that date. So I reached out to the legislative auditor's office to let them know that, to make sure that they were aware of that, gave them the information. What will probably happen is that there will probably be a finding for that. Had we known that information that night, we probably could have avoided that finding, but because we did not know, you have to take the repercussions or the things that come from that. So just wanted to give you guys a little bit of information so that we're all aware of where we are on that. Okay, next item on the agenda is the Section 8 report.
Good evening. To the Honorable Mayor, Chief of Police, and our council members. City Clerk, Section 8 has provided you with a report for December. Just an update, the HAP set aside funds were dispersed. That was the funds that we had applied for to try to carry us over at least for another month. So they were dispersed in November. As far as our number of participants, we have lost a few participants. At this time, we currently have 51 of our possible 63 vouchers. There are no vouchers that are on the street, no one searching, so we're still at a standstill as far as receiving any vouchers due to our shortfall. So we're still at a standstill with that. I provided you all with the November HAP amount, which was $23,535.47. And to date with December's HAP, total $22,053.47. Are there any questions?
Okay, if there are no questions, I'm sorry, Ms. Brown, you gonna add something? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the Section A report? Okay. Proper motion by Ms. Harris, proper second by Mrs. Day. May we have a roll call vote, Gerald, please?
Wells,
Yes.
Day,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Houston, absent, Scott,
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Brown, we appreciate you. Okay, next item on the agenda is the approval of the Louisiana Compliance Questionnaire for our audit for the fiscal year 24-25. We actually had this on a prior agenda. Councilman Wells was able to review it along with the rest of the council. Did notice that there were a couple of the questions that were answered incorrectly. So the council decided to move this to another agenda to make sure that the answers have been done correctly. We believe that those items that he brought up have been changed. Gerald has gone back through and answered those questions. We just have some questions. So there's different sections under there: municipalities, parishes, ports, etc. There's one section under airports. The city of Tallulah is an owner, one of the owners for the Big City Tallulah Regional Airport, which is located out in Mound. However, when I spoke with the auditing firm today, they instructed us that we are not to answer any questions under airports because we are actually not an airport. So that was the information that I got there. So wanted the council to know that's why those 4 questions are left empty. So if there are any comments from the council?
You said the auditor told us that we didn't have to answer those questions even though we are owner of an airport.
So if you look at the way the form is set up, it's set up for those specific entities to answer. There's parishes, there's, I look back at it, schools, ports. I believe the way the form is set up, that's actually set up for a real airport. And when I asked him, that was the answer that he gave me. I asked him specifically, do we need to answer those questions under airports? And he said no.
So I know we left it blank. We didn't put does not apply on it. We just left it blank.
But we left the ones that are parishes blank as well because we're not a parish.
So we don't put not apply on there.
I think we should leave it blank since we're not an airport, as we left the other items unanswered as well.
But the reason why I'm saying that, Mayor Lewis, is that even though now we haven't answered anything, and not saying that anyone would do it, after the meeting is over, we can always come back and, answer those questions. So I just think if you go and mark it now and say it does not apply, so if we were to go back and look at it, it would still say that I could be wrong. But
So I think the inference that somebody would come back afterwards, certainly your prerogative. I don't think that anything like that would happen. As I have said, under the items that are under parishes or the different categories, we did not answer. The auditor told us to do the same thing under airports. There's no one that is going to go back afterwards and answer those questions. That does nothing for us, so well, I appreciate the concern. Okay. Does anyone else have any questions? Okay, is there a motion to approve the compliance questionnaire?
Motion to approve.
Okay, is there a second?
A second.
Okay, we have a proper motion by Mrs. Day, proper second by Mr. Scott. All in favor say aye. Any opposed?
Yes.
Okay.
Who did you say seconded?
Mr. Scott. Okay, and we had 3 yeas and 1 nay.
In order for that, you have to do a roll call, right?
I said, well, actually, I asked for all in favor, and are there any opposed? So you know how many people are here, we can simply split that up. But if you'd like to do a roll call, we can.
I will
Okay.
indicate in there that you.
Why don't we go ahead and do a roll call?
Okay, roll call. Wells,
No.
Day,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Houston, absent. Scott?
Yes.
Okay. Next item on the agenda, was put on the agenda, Councilman Wells asked to discuss the audit extension request for the city of Tallulah. So just to give a little background information, on November 17th, the Louisiana Legislative Auditor put out an alert which notified individual municipalities who are expending more than $750,000 that a compliance supplement had not been completed, had not been finished by the Office of Management and Budget. So without that compliance supplement, the individual municipalities that are being audited were not able to finish up their audit. That had to be put out by the Office of Management and Budget. So we were alerted. That came out on the 17th. We were alerted by our auditing firm on the November the 20th of that information. I spoke with Mr. Murray about it. At that time, I authorized him to go ahead and ask for an extension request. The extension request was offered to all municipalities without any findings or without any penalties or anything like that, because this is something that is not under our control. We did ask for the extension, we did get that, and then 5 days later, the Office of Management and Budget came out with the compliance supplement. So it has been issued. Right now, Mr. Murray is waiting on the final financial statements from our CPA firm. He has indicated that he should be receiving those soon, and that the audit should be turned in by December 31st, which is the original due date. So, Councilman Wells, you asked for this to be on the agenda. I yield the floor to you, sir.
Yeah, well, the reason why I asked for it, because it was placed in our agenda packet, and I just think that with things that's concerning the public and the public's money, they should be made aware of that in the council meeting, not just the council. That's why I wanted us to address the attorney's resignation, that as well as the extension request, so everyone will be abreast at what's going on. I just think there's some things the community and our constituents need to be made aware of, and not just us, because we have to answer to the people.
Okay. Anyone else have any comments? Perfect. So the audit should be turned in on time, and we should stay under the compliant date that we have. Next item on the agenda is to approve a resolution authorizing interim mayor Yvonne Lewis signing privileges on all accounts at Delta Bank. Right now, I am a signee at Capital One on our accounts there. We do have the sales and use tax account that is at Delta Bank. I'm not a signer on that account. And after speaking with them, they would require a resolution and a copy of the minutes in order to add me as a signer on that account. So, if there are any questions?
So my question is, have, Mayor Fennis's name been removed off all of the accounts?
Yes, well, he hadn't been removed off the one at Delta Bank. But he has been removed off the one at Capital One, which is where the majority of our accounts are.
Will he be removed?
You know, Charles, did you take Charles Michael off Delta?
No.
Shouldn't. That's it.
See, that's supposed to come from the council for the removal and the adding of the name. I mentioned that about before. They took the seat that we had to change the signers on those accounts, but once we had to do all those. Was removed, so when he resigned, we should have took the process of.
Yeah, he should be removed.
I don't think that's a question.
No, I asked, has he been removed off all of the accounts? Because if not, he still has access to the accounts that he's no longer the mayor. So once he resigned, we're supposed to take action to have him removed off those accounts
Yeah.
immediately. And that's what I mentioned to us months ago. And then once we,
I'm thinking that was done, but I'll check it out.
Okay, so are there any other comments? Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make a motion to approve.
We have a proper motion, is there
I
a second?
second it.
Okay. Proper motion and second. Sure, we have a roll call vote, is this a resolution?
Wells,
Yes.
Day,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Scott,
Yes.
Okay, and Cheryl, let's make sure that we, get something, in writing from Delta Bank showing that Charles Michael has been, taken off, and then we can share that with the council, okay? Okay, at this time, we are going to have a review of the general fund financial statements through October 25th. Cheryl?
give me a second, I think I left him in my office, I'll be right back.
Is it possible that we can have like a finance, because there's a lot of questions I have about the finances that I'm not gonna do tonight, because I won't take a whole lot of time. But there's a lot of concerns I have, and that's why I asked for, see bills for payment. Because I'm seeing individuals on here that's not city employees that receiving checks, and we don't know what they're for.
Well, I mean, looks like we're running pretty good, so you might have some time to ask that tonight.
No, I'm not gonna ask, because I be wanting to see the checks to see what we pay these individuals for. But if there's one name on there, I really have a concern about it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna request that in writing.
Okay, sure.
Okay, well, we're looking much better financially. And we look at, starting with revenues on your very front page, if you go down all the way down on the left to the bottom, we had a forecast of 250, I'm gonna round off. We had a forecast of 258,000, and we spent 272, which put us 14,000 less, or 14,000 more than what we had budgeted or had forecast. And but the overall picture, that is the year-to-date, if you move over to the right side where it says year-to-date budget, year-to-date actual, you'll see that the year-to-date budget was, you might as well say $1 million, $999,985 for the month of October, year-to-date. And that actual turned out to be $1,146,400. So we were ahead of our forecast at that point by $140,000, which, you know, for the first 4 months is good. And it shows that the revenues are staying up with what we're hoping. And we're gonna have to keep the revenues up, but also really come along with our expenses. So probably the next thing to go to would be to flip a page over and go to the police department, because we'll take each department individually. You'll have to turn a couple pages. For the month, we had a budget of $120,000. Police department did, and it spent $102,000, which is great. Moving over to the right-hand side of the page for year-to-date, that means up to the present, we had a budget of $404,000, and he spent $378,000, which put him $25,000 below his budget, which is excellent. If you flip over to fire department, under current, you had a budget of $41,000. They spent $36,000, which put them $6,200 under their budget, which is great. Move over to the year-to-date side, and it will show that the year-to-date budget was $178,000, and the fire department spent $160,000, which put it $17,000 below its budget, which is again excellent. Going to street, we got the same kind of story, starting on your left with your current budget for the month of October is $68,450. We spent $54,517, so we came out for that month $11,000 or almost $12,000 under budget. Moving over to year-to-date, which is up until now, we have a budget of $280,000. We spent $274,000, so we saved $6,000 there. That takes us, flipping the page, that'll take us over to the mayor's office, which is administration, city hall, etc. It had a budget of $84,400, spent $75,400, and came in $6,000 under what budget was. So actually, and then if you want to move over to community center, it's just always right spot on every month, year after year. Any questions?
Yeah, for the mayor's office, on page 2 of the mayor's office, it says you have $53.90 was paid to an alderman for this expense. Which alder person has some $53?
Let's see.
And it says
Where are
year
you?
to, under the mayor's office, the second page 202, mayor's office. And it said for the year to date, you spent $215.60 for an alder person. What expense did the council person have?
That was, let me find it first.
So that's why I want to see checks. Because we haven't been on any trips.
Just flip it on over.
He wants it back on the mayor's office right here. All of the expenses.
You talking about the $53.90?
Yeah, $53.90 said for you.
That was some, I would say, that has to be a travel.
For who?
Now, it doesn't say right off the bat.
Because we haven't been on any trips.
I mean, for the amount involved.
No, sir. Who was paid?
Either, it would not be, I would have to look at it. Someone was either reimbursed for a small purchase, which is probably what this was.
Let's see.
Because it's only $53.90.
Right, but again, all the person, a council member, should not be reimbursed for anything that they're purchasing.
Unless it was an alderman person. Like I say, that's just a guess. I'll have to go look that up.
I got you.
I'll have to look it up.
But then my concern is, it's a year-to-date actually spent $215.60 paid to a council person.
Well, the way I'll have to get that is I'll have to go into the system and bring it down for the 4 months involved. And wherever that money shows up, it'll be there, and I can record it and tell you exactly where it came from. That's a highly detailed maneuver, which you don't normally have to do, but if that's what you want to do, we'll certainly
Yes,
do it.
because my concern, the council, nobody that I'm aware of, as a council person, has traveled or done anything.
Well, it's a good point. It may not be travel, it may be something else.
Okay, but see,
I'll have to look a little bit.
So-
I mean, I had no idea you would ask on this. or
I
I'd
know
have been
that's why,
deterred.
I'm always asked. So if there's a council person that's being paid for something outside of their regular allotment for our paid for the city councilman, that's not good. 'Cause we are
Well,
not-
it's like this, sometimes an employee needs to buy something that is not readily available, and he might go to a place where he knows he can get it.
But it shouldn't be listed under the
And
law.
buy it, and then,
At no time should a city council member be buying something.
well, you got a good point. Like I say, I'm not sure that's what it is. It's
But you
what
have
happened
it
there.
under-
We'll have to look at it.
But you have it under alderman expenses,
Yeah.
which means that all the person receive money.
So,
That's why.
Well, and plus, all the persons is in government, and so there's some reasons why, you know.
So what Councilman Wells is saying is, on this particular financial statement, it would appear that some alderman, don't know who, has been paid X amount of dollars. What he is also saying is, if this is for this fiscal year, which started July 1, there has been no travel or anything for aldermen. So what I would like you to do is if you could please look into that, could be a
I will.
mistake, could be, but whatever the case is, we need to make sure when we put the financial statements out, that money is allotted to the correct line item that it's supposed to. He has a very valid question. If none of the,
It is, but
yeah.
it's not, the only thing I'm saying is it may not involve travel, but his point is, no matter what it involves, it's important that it be looked at for the reason that council, as a governing body of the city, you have to be careful how council members, spend or what have you, and I get what you're saying. I get what you're
A
saying.
council member should never be spending anything. And see, this is my concern, and I wish my fellow council members would follow me, or at least we come together and start seeing bills for payment. Because there's things that this is the first time I've been on this council in 3 years, that nobody is close to being over budget. It's the first time. And now, how close are we to being past our 50% threshold when it comes to finances? Because the last time we met, we said we were very close to being over the 50% threshold from last year's budget. So where are we at now currently when it comes to the 50% total?
I have to figure that out,
I-
because I just
would-
came up with the figures.
I would
just came up
say
with the figures.
that we would have been close, just probably barely making it under the 50% at the November 24th. But at this point, I am very sure that we were over that 50%, which is why I contacted the legislative auditor's office to let them know that.
Yeah.
See, and those are things, and I know y'all be tired of me doing it though, but I'm just, well, my name is associated with someone, I want to make sure it's right. And that's why I ask certain questions and I say, let's communicate about certain things, but I'm always brushed off. Because that way we won't have to make, when I asked about the dates, I talked about the budget. See, that's what we're talking about.
You never asked about the dates until after the
Right,
meeting.
but what I
So you
said-
had that information that you could have shared with us that
remember-
might have saved us from getting a
I
finding,
promise
but you
you I-
chose not to share that
I'm gonna tell you
information.
okay, remember I said, Mayor Lewis, let's slow down and let's get together.
You said that afterwards.
No, ma'am.
That was afterwards.
I'll let you have that one. But I said that in the email when you said, I'm gonna put this on the agenda for Monday. I said, let's slow down. And you said, no, we're going to put this on there. Ms. Dana know what things in the group chat. They know I'm not saying anything wrong. So I be saying, let's slow down to make sure we're doing everything right. Your answer to me was no, you're going to do it. So when you say no, we're going to do it, I'm gonna let you do what you do.
Right,
And
and
then
if
when
you
it
have
go- when it
information
go-
that could have helped the
I-
town that you have been elected to
Yes.
represent, you could have shared that information, but you
That's-
chose to withhold it.
Right, no, I did not. And I don't want to go back and forth. But that's why I said.
And
let's
that's
slow
why
down.
tonight you
And-
asked
and I
about the
said-
date on there, and that
Yes.
is why I hesitated,
Right.
thought about it, and shared the information.
Yes, ma'am.
We all know what time it is.
But that's why in the text message there, Lewis, Ms. That you all remember, I said, let's slow down and make sure we do it. I said, let's get together and meet. I said in the text message. for us to meet and make sure, did I not say it was theirs? For us to do it right. And you said, no, I'm going to put this on the agenda. I said, okay, well, I'm not gonna say a word. Because if I try to say let's do it right, you said no, I'm gonna let you do it. See, sometimes our pride gotta step away.
That's true.
Yes. So I
Because
said,
I think your pride kept you from sharing that information with us.
I promise you I was trying, plus I said, slow it down. And I said, the first time, I said, I wanted to actually let us do what we're gonna do wrong, and I report us as a city. But I said, no, my heart will let me do it. I said, can we make sure we get it right?
And you also said before, the next time I see something wrong, I'm just not gonna say anything.
Yes, because you told me you wasn't gonna listen to what I said.
And so, yeah, I think
So
everybody
now-
knows where everybody
Okay, now
stands.
let's go further.
So I think we were talking, as I
That's
said,
the finances.
right, I think we're talking about the line item for the Alderman, which you have brought up, which I asked Jojo if we could get that information, and if we could give that information to the council by tomorrow. If there's $215 that is in question, we ought to be able to answer that question.
Ma'am, may I speak?
And I think it also should be noted that, that the town has taken steps, and they're really paying off, to cut back on our expenses and to try to come in with as close to a balanced budget as we can for the year. Because Lord knows we've been through a lot of bad times in recent months.
At the end of the day,
So I
the money
think, I
was,
think we've proven, is what I'm trying to
at the
say.
end of the day, the money was either spent or it's a mistake. It's just one of the two. I don't think we have to spend a lot of more time on that.
Can I, ma'am?
Sure.
Can I speak? And I'm gonna leave it on after this. Is it possible that we can ever see bills for payment?
It is absolutely possible. We are open from 8 to 5, and you are welcome as a city council person to come up here and see, but we are not going to make copies of all of the bills that we get in. It's not going to happen.
This doesn't help you at all?
No.
Well, you see, if you found something that you
Well,
wanted,
see,
just call up here and we can.
See, this is my concern, okay? And I don't understand why it's hostilities. Because I said, I work as well, and I'm not gonna take off my job to come up here for what
Well,
you
call
all.
up here, give them a quick call.
I make it in the council meeting, ask for it. So if I ask for it tonight, so you need to tell me it will be too much to do for the next meeting.
It's not, I just felt like you wanted it as soon as possible.
I've been very clear. I said the previous month or the prior month.
Well, we'll get
So,
it.
because see, when you see certain names down for checks that's not city employees, that raises concern.
You should ask your questions
I
so
promise
that
you,
you
I'm
can
gonna
get
do it
the answer
right.
for those checks.
I'm really right. Cause I want you to get upset right now.
You don't want me to get upset.
I don't.
Okay.
You don't like it.
Was there anything else, sir?
None.
Thank you.
Then you want the next thing?
I'm sorry?
Is he through?
I think you still have the floor. Did you have any other comments or questions?
See,
How far did we get?
then we look at the community center.
Yeah, the community center is always right on target.
So the community center says we have someone that's gotten paid $9,000 at the community center. Who is working at the community center?
Nobody right now.
So who are we paying $9,000 to?
So Mr. Jackson was working there and was terminated during this fiscal year, so he was paid.
So that's for him?
Yeah, I think he left in September.
That shouldn't be 9,000. Cause this, salary is 2,000, that'll be only like 6,000.
There's air conditioning repair there, there's
No,
always
I'm
repair.
talking about salaries. The air conditioner's not going out every month, I'm sorry, y'all can't even believe that. I could be wrong, it could be, I'm sorry, I could be wrong, but I don't think it's going out every month.
I know he did some repair, he did a lot of air conditioning work.
Who did all
He's
that?
talking about salaries. He's talking strictly about salaries.
Salaries, okay.
And we say air conditioning, every time we have concerns about money with the community center, it's always the air conditioner. And if our air conditioner is that bad, we need to buy a new one and save a lot of money. Instead of paying $13,000 for the year-to-date actual for air conditioner, if that's what it is.
Okay, Any of the other council members, do you guys have any questions on the financial statements? So Gerald, tomorrow, if we could please get the information on the line item for the alderman under the mayor's office, and then the salary information for the community center, so we can make sure that's correct as well.
And can I get the checks, and the bills for payment for October, so I can see some of these, names that's on the list we got paid for?
So, what the
I'm
council
sending you the
agreed on.
names that I'm talking about. Now, this is me individually.
Okay,
So I'm not, cause the council ain't gonna follow me on that for some reason, I don't know why. But I'm gonna, send you the names of the checks that I wanna see individually.
You want the invoice too.
Yeah, I wanna see all that. See, but why don't you just join me?
I think I know what you're talking, I think I know what you're talking
But you
about.
want the invoice for it, I'm just trying to
I
help you.
understand, but
So-
tell me about that.
Councilmember,
what the council has is a copy of the, what the council has is a copy of the general ledger of all of the checks that have been written. There are some checks that have been written to certain individuals that do not work for the city of Tallulah. However, we have festivals that we pay DJs, we do all different types of things. So what Mr. Wells is asking for, if I'm understanding correctly, the individuals that are listed under, probably on the general fund ledger, all of the individuals who are not city of Tallulah employees, if you could get a copy of the invoice and a copy of the check. Is that what you're asking, sir?
No, I'm gonna send you the ones I want.
Okay, so give me what you want.
Okay. All right. Okay, we are down to public comments. Do we have any public, before we go into public comments, there are a couple items that I wanted to bring back up. First of all, at the last meeting, we had, one of the items was some aerators that we have out at the wastewater treatment plant. There's about 17 or 18 of them. We had gone through a bid auction. The Mats had helped us with that, which is an organization through LMA. The bid that came back was, I think, $4,500, somewhere around in there. The council was concerned because they thought that bid was low. They thought that we should be able to get more for that. So I did reach out to Vicksburg Recycling, who's here pretty close to us. Told them about the aerators, told them how much they weigh. They each weigh probably about, I don't know, probably 700 to 800 pounds, but I actually said 900 pounds. And they are actually, so there's a couple different things. When you have recycling or stainless steel recycling things that you're taking over there, there's a term that they call dirty, and what that means is it's not an item that they can just take. They have to go through, they have to take the screws out, they have to take the motors out, whatever the case may be. That's just the term that they use. And for those types of items, they typically pay 10 cents on the pound. So if we were to take the 18 aerators that we have at 900 pounds each, I think that's probably a little generous, but we'll go with 900. That would come out to, I think if my math is correct, 16,200 pounds. If you times that times 0.10, 10 cents on the pound, that ends up being $1,600, which was significantly lower than the bid that we got. Again, we also have to think about, the gentleman was actually going to come and pick those things up. If we take them someplace, then we're going to have to transport them. So if there is I don't know about the recycling world selling stuff like that. If there's another place around that anybody would like me to look into to see, how much they would do, I certainly can do that. And what I would recommend, if y'all give me someplace to look around, if we don't find anything that we see is as much as that 4,500 bid, that maybe we revisit that process, but that would be up to you all. The other thing, Mr. Williams, I'm gonna look directly at you here. I did talk with Lamats again about that sewer issue. I spoke with you, and when we go out for requests for proposals, I don't want any engineering firms to help us to make sure that they're not excluded, being able to put in a request for proposal. So what Lamats has told us to do is get together as a city, put the package together, put the package together, and send it to them so that we can put it out for requests for proposals. So Mr. Oni and I are working on that. I've given him a deadline of December 19th. Hopefully we can have everything ready by that following Monday, which is the 22nd, and get that process going so we can put those out for requests for proposals. For those of you that don't know, there's been an ongoing sewage issue affecting Mr. Williams and a lot of people in District 5. It's been going on for years. When they have heavy rains, they're unable to flush and those sorts of things. So it's been past time to try and look into it. So I'm gonna be looking for assistance from all of you guys on that. If there's anybody in the audience, that can help as well. I think if we put it out for proposals, get the job out there, see what the interest is, and kind of see what we can do. We can find out a dollar amount, and then we can start looking for some money for it. It's going to be a big job, and it's going to cost some money. So I think once we know how much it's going to be, then we can start looking at our different funding sources.
Mayor, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Where are we with the Harlem Street drainage project?
So we were all on that call several months ago. I will reach out to them again because I haven't heard anything. I am just it is amazing me how long that is taking.
It's the same problem. He's having it's the same problem.
Same problem that they're having. So yeah, I will reach out. It's Ethel Street. She meant Ethel Street, yeah. Harlem Street is done. It's a drainage project. It's a FEMA-led project. It's been going on for years. We are not driving that train. Someone else is driving that train. So we're kind of just waiting until they get to going on it. Harlem Street took 12 years. So it's been a while. Okay, so that was that. The other thing that I have, a couple other things. We still have the situation with our boundaries. Okay, Councilman Wells did ask me to be on this agenda. What I'm trying to do for our first meeting in January is have Mr. Mitchell here and see if we can get someone from Census to Zoom into our meeting. What's happening right now is the map is showing Kelly's Apartments inside of the city limits, okay? That's really been the big one that most people have been talking about. I went over to the assessor's office. Kelly's Apartments has never paid city taxes. There are no ordinances for annexation, but the census is showing, that it's inside. So, where did census get that information? Why did they, why is it drawn in? I spoke with Mr. Odom. Mr. Odom has told me in the time that he has been here that he has never submitted any written maps that he did himself. Am I correct in that?
Absolutely. I wouldn't know where to start.
So, we're just at a point where we need to figure out what happened. How did it get on? Whatever the case may be. So, that's where I am on that. And then, I'm going to ask, because my voice is starting to get a little eeky here. We had a water meeting yesterday, and Councilman Wells, if you could help me sort of with a recap on that meeting.
You may not want me to say my recap.
It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay.
Say mine.
Okay. So we all know that Magnolia has a 1-year contract here in Tallulah. We still are under the state of emergency from the state. Magnolia has made it very clear, very abundantly clear, that they would like to purchase our water system. They do not believe that the original rehabilitation project that we have is a viable project. They have said if that's something that the city of Tallulah is going to go forward with, they want no parts of it. They did indicate triage-wise, and triage is what they're doing at the plant right now. There's been about $2 million that has been put in. They've done some work over there on some big ticket items, but there are some things that still need to be done. According to the call yesterday, there still appears to be between $4 and $6 million more that needs to be found to finish out the triage. So we are going to, as a unit, have to figure out what our next move, is going to be. I have sent to the council a skeleton. If we if we want to keep our water plant, okay? And we're gonna have to come up with a plan. So there are several different options. Are we going to try and use the USDA and the water sector funding that we have? That's one option. There's some other options. Can somebody manage us? We're gonna have to look at all of those things as a unit. I've sent a very skeleton draft to the council. I've asked them to please provide their input. This is not a plan that I'm gonna put together by myself. I think it's gonna have to be input from all. I think this is actually the item that Councilman Wells said that we need to sit down and draw up a plan together. I will be very honest with you all. Councilman Wells did look at my plan. He does not think it's a plan. I disagree, but you know, we have to start somewhere. So that's sort of where we are with the water. Magnolia is looking like they are wanting to bolt. So go ahead, sir.
See, this is what bothers me really, is that Magnolia said when we first brought them on board, they were going to come and communicate with the people from day one. They still said they want to communicate. The only communication we got from them are letters. And then when people or citizens have concerns, nobody can ever reach Magnolia. Our former attorney would never reach out to them unless it was something beneficial to them. If our constituents, our citizens have an issue of water bills, we should call a special meeting. So those are things we should call special meetings for. Not to a point of animal matter. We do it a regular meeting. See, we call special meetings for stuff that's frivolous. If our citizens have concerns with astronomical water bills, we should say we're going to reach out to representatives from Magnolia, like they reached out to us up there in the call. Mr. Ezel said several times, I called this meeting, I called this meeting. So I'm like, man, hold up. How was he able to get in touch with us to call a meeting, but we can't get in touch with them to have them come to us? See, some things I want to understand, we bold when it comes to your own folks, but we don't talk to them like that. We don't tell them, sir, our citizens are paying to your company for water. We need you to come and address their concerns. So when are you going to have a representative available for our people? Or yesterday, Christmas Day, when I knew Magnolia's plan was to buy the water company, was he made that clear when he talked at the community center. The man said it twice. And I stood up, I said, wait a minute. I said, you may not remember. I said, you said twice that you are talking about buying the water plant. He said, no, that's not what I mean. I said, yeah, you said it too many times. So when he said that yesterday, it just confirmed what he always said, what they say all the time. And I also got from that phone call, they said they're not going to do much work now unless they're going to buy the water plant. So for me, I will tell Magnolia, when February 17th comes, you all pack your stuff up and go. And I know some management companies that can come in and manage our water plant. I've been speaking to some the whole time. So I'm going to get with you as far as us developing one. I got a homeboy I play football with that manage water plants. So we can have it together. I just want to make sure that you all won't say, well, since it's Wells playing or Wells people he know, we're not going to vote for him. Because that's how something's going to happen. So I know individuals, play ball with him for 4 years at Alcorn State, the Alcorn State University. Okay? So we can get it right. But I want to make sure that we don't touch the money. That's where the problem comes in at. So if we manage it, let these folks handle the money, the finances, that we don't fool with. Because that's where our biggest concern comes from. And when they're saying they put $2 million into the company, say right now they're losing $200,000 up until February. So my question, I just said on the call, everybody thinking I question, even the governor, the man from the governor's office got mad when I asked the question. So how much money are y'all using from the citizens that's paying water bills to go toward the upgrade of the plant? Nobody's talking about that. So we're talking about how much money Magnolia's paying, but nobody's saying what the citizens are actually contributing to the maintenance and the upkeep of the plant. We allocated almost $1 million some on December 31st, 2024 for parts to go to that plant. Has those parts been installed yet?
Oh, yeah.
They have?
Huge thing.
All of them? I just want to make sure.
All those big pumps that we had ordered, yeah.
So everything we paid for, they're installed. Okay, so now.
Well, maybe I should backtrack. I'm not sure if everything's been installed or not, but it's been, I see the mayor shaking her head. She probably knows for sure that it has. It makes sense that it has because it's been around for a long time.
See, we haven't received no communication. See, we don't get nothing from Magnolia. They don't tell us nothing for us. They're installing this, they don't communicate with us about nothing. And then when we have a busted pipe, man, Lewis, you send out communications from the city of Tallulah, Magnolia's experiencing these problems. I'm like, why are we doing that? If we have no control over the water, why are we communicating from Magnolia? And they never send out communication. So if we're gonna do their business, then they need to do business with us. So when I hear those phone calls, they know folks talking on the phone call, and then I see people show up at meetings, I'm like, okay, I see what's going on here. I see it. The plan is ever before us. How we want this water plant to go. But I have a company that I know personally that can come in and help us manage, because they manage other municipalities and their water system around Northeast Louisiana. And I don't ask them for nothing, but can you help us? And he said, yes, he can. And I said, what about doing repairs in our current plant? Do you know anybody? So I have a partnering group that does the repairs. So if Magnolia goes, Patterson goes, this guy that I know has a company that will come in. And they can do everything that they're doing.
Okay, so just to make sure that everybody is operating with the correct facts, Magnolia is not putting money in. They put the money up, the initial $2 million that has been invested into our water plant. They have been repaid or are going to be repaid by GOSEP. So that money is actually coming from the state. That is not coming from Magnolia. What we need to remember is Magnolia is in business with the state of Louisiana. They are not in business with the city of Tallulah. Okay, so they are a business. They're going to come into something looking to see what the bottom line is. That's what they're going to do. Okay, so this is why I say, again, let's share the information, put a plan together. Because if we're talking about somebody coming in and operating our water plant, that means that what we're telling the governor is, you can stop your money. And I don't think we're prepared to say that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Is as of February 17th, the governor's money will stop.
No.
Because of the controversy.
No, as of February 17th, Magnolia's contract will end.
Unless
the governor has made it clear, and his staffers made it clear in there, and Senator Jackson made it clear as well, that there are still going to be some additional dollars found for Tallulah. I think what we need to do
if you're coming with that defense, that means you already have your plan in mind.
Okay, so I'm not coming to anybody's defense. Okay, may I finish, sir? My job is to make sure that you guys have the facts, and that's what I'm doing. I'm not coming to anybody's defense. I'm just gonna tell you like it is, okay? If you're talking about us managing our plant, then that means we are going to take it back. And where's the money gonna come to finish everything that we need to do? Because what we also need to take into consideration, okay? I want to keep our water plant. I want us to, okay? But we gotta make sure that we can do that, right? So we have to make sure that USDA money that we have, that water sector money that we have, once we take that USDA money, that's another pot of debt that we're going to have on top of the debt that we already have. What I would like to see is for us to continue to ride this train that we're on, let the state put in as much money as they're going to put in, and then we make it, once they tell us, once the state tells us, that's it, that's the end of the road, figure out what you're going to do. Okay. That's what I would like to see. Again, I say, collectively, okay, we are going to have to put together a plan that has some different options because we don't know how this is going to play out. Yes, sir.
Okay, now.
Okay. Since, is it Patterson hired all of our guys for the water company, then what happens to those? Do we have to rehire them?
Well, it depends, okay? we can't just say we're going to rehire them, because those are individuals that can make up their own mind about what they
No, I'm
want to
just
do.
asking, do we bring them back on board? Is that how?
If we bring them back on board, we need to remember that we're gonna have to bring them back on board at the dollar amount that they're making now, which is more than, which is less, which is more than what they were making before.
See, that goes back to, like I said, months ago.
So we left without any.
But see, that goes back to, like I said, several months ago.
So it depends. What needs to happen is, look, we need to look at the numbers and say, okay, if we really want to do this, let's look and see if we can afford to do it. It might be hard for a little while, okay? But if it's something that can be done responsibly and that we can do, and we just have to tough it out for a couple of years, that's an option. I'm not saying that that's not an option, When we talk about salaries and everything, okay? When things are getting fixed at the water plant, then that means the operations are going to decrease, okay? Right now, well, before, chemicals, we were, using all kinds of stuff. It was a lot to operate the plant. If things are being fixed, then that means operations are going to come down. Maybe some of that money will be enough to bring them at the dollar amount that they're at. Those are all things that we are going to have to sit down and figure out. And I think we're going to have to sit down and figure it out pretty quickly, because we need to have a plan where we have several different options. So whichever way we go, we know where we're going, and we looked at the numbers. Yes, sir.
Okay, so maybe I hear wrong, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong. So my thing is, are we saying, insinuating that the only way we're going to get that money if Magnolia and Patterson stays in place? Because if the governor is going to allocate more money to Tallulah, it should not be tied into, we have to have a certain company represented work for us.
No.
So whether Magnolia and Patterson there or not should not determine whether or not we get this money. Now, that's being said, then we need to say something about it.
Nobody
So,
said that.
okay, I'm just saying. So if you're saying that we want to keep them in place, which means right now the governor has his company in place. So we need to have a plan. A plan means is that whether the governor is there or not, we have a plan of action that we're going to take. We're not going to sit there. We shouldn't be sitting waiting for them to tell us how to handle our business. That's not effective. We don't need to be here if that's the case. So as the interim mayor, we should have a plan that when February 17 comes and goes, when they stop, we should have a plan ready to kick in right then and there. That's why right now we should do cost saving measures. We shouldn't be hiring nobody right now. We should be trying to save up money. We should be hiring no additional personnel, and I understand we've done that. So we should be saving those funds so in case we get our plant back, we will have a surplus of money ready to help us when we start back operating. See, I should be thinking long term, not right now. So instead of me hiring someone at a $30,000, $40,000, or $50,000 salary, I'm gonna take that money and put it into my general fund, or my funds, let it stay there, and let it accumulate interest. So when February 17 comes, I know I have this amount of money right there that we can utilize. So I have to fill every position. And I told us day one when they hired our people, I said, that's telling me right now that they have no plans to give us back our water plant. I said that. So what we need to start thinking is proactively. So if those guys is working out there, decide not to come back and Patterson have to leave, I told you I know a company that does manages water plants does that. They have personnel. So if we get our plant back, we need to have a plan in place that if this company is gone, we still can operate. That's what a leader does.
And the
As a football
leader
coach,
reached out to you several weeks ago and gave you a skeleton.
I can never finish saying what I'm saying.
You have interrupted me
I'll let you
all
stop.
night.
I
You
wouldn't have-
interrupted me all night. What I'm saying is, I've asked you probably 3 weeks ago when I told you guys we need to start putting a plan together. And you haven't given
I'm telling
anything.
you, I waited till
Nothing.
after the
You
call.
have not
I
given
waited
any
till after
input.
the call that we had. I've been talking to people all the time. I just started this.
Okay, then let us know.
So listen.
Let us
So,
know.
okay, no, this is my thing, what I'm careful about. See, I have to be careful what I do with this council. Because when I say something, you all go completely opposite of what I say. So if I say it too soon, then it tends to go in a different direction because I've said it. So I'm leery.
I disagree.
But however, when it comes to the sustainability of Tallulah, I'm not going to withhold that information about the company. So once I realize we're serious about going forward with another company, I'm all on board. Because I don't like folks wasting their time to come and talk to us when we already have an agenda. That's what I'm like.
There is no agenda.
Can I finish?
There is
please?
no agenda.
Can I finish?
No, because you're not going to continue to accuse people of things and not be checked on. You're not, you just said
I said
if there
that
is an
there's no
agenda.
agenda. Didn't say anybody else. I said that there's no agenda.
I have a question, Mayor, about my budget.
Hold on. So what I'm saying is, so we can get this thing back right. We just have to plan proactively. And we just can't sit back and say, well, let the governor do this, let the governor do that. We are the government for the city of Tallulah. We need to act like it. We shouldn't have the governor have to tell us what, because even when y'all say about the call, I said we shouldn't have to meet with the governor about nothing. We should be developing our own plan. And then come to find out, the governor didn't call a meeting, doggone Magnolia called it. But we can't call Magnolia to do nothing for us. So when we are serious about this water thing and us really getting control of it, I'll tell the guy I know that has the company and say, man, come and talk to us. Matter of fact, they was over there when Bonton was there. So they know. So just let me know when we serious about it.
Okay,
And
so
we're not dictating by waiting on the governor.
we're serious about it.
Okay, well,
As I asked you
I'll call
a
the
couple of
tomorrow.
weeks ago, and I told all of the council, okay, let's put a plan together.
Let's set a meeting date.
Okay?
And I'll see if he can be here. So I got his number right there in
You are
Monroe.
welcome to ask him to come whenever you like.
No,
Hold on, I'll let you talk, okay? What I'm saying is, if you're serious about saying that we need a plan, then let's put a plan together. Don't keep saying let's do a plan and not come together and do one. It's not like I have not asked you. It's not like I have not said to you, let's put a plan together. And you have provided no input, zero. So you can sit here, okay, and say whatever it is that you want to say, but at the end of the day, the facts do not change. I asked you and I asked the entire council, I gave you all a skeleton that we could start from, we could add to it, we could delete it, we could do whatever. So I think we're all on the same page, okay? That we need to have a plan going forward. But what I also want you guys to know is, let's not cut off, let's not cut off our nose to splash our face. Let's not do that. We have gotten $2 million free dollars from the state, with more to come. So let's make sure that whatever plan we put together, we're not shooting ourselves in the foot and we lose any other additional dollars that might be coming to us.
If the governor decides not to give us money because we don't operate with a certain company.
Nobody ever said
Okay,
that.
so when we say shooting ourselves in the face, how are we shooting ourselves in the face if we come with our own plan that may not include Magnolia and Patterson? So now,
You're saying the same thing. Okay. I think we have given this enough time. We're down to public comments. Do we have any public comments? Mr. Carter?
Basically, I wanted to say something about the budget. This year, you guys approved the renovation of my building. And I seen the budget that I had $25,000 extra. And I think the installments, if I'm not mistaken, Wells, I think it's $31,000 per payment or something like that to the contractor.
that's mostly, I don't know if they
Yeah, right. And I don't see why we can't get that done. I'm just gonna be honest. I mean, you guys approve it. It should be in the budget. I'm just gonna be honest. I mean,
I don't
and
think
besides, the money that I bring in on a monthly basis, I can meet that note. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. And we living like hoarders over there. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, it's no space. We have no room to operate. I mean, we're on top of each other. No room to put evidence, anything. I mean, anybody visit the office, you can see for yourselves. I mean, we really need that renovation.
Okay. Do we, Mr. Carter?
Good evening. I'm here again. I hope I can get some help here. Okay, y'all know I was here in August, and since August, Mr. Doug has given me 10 pallets of water to give out to the elderly and the homeless, and he's giving me a good deal. And I'm asking him, like I'm giving out water to all 5 districts. Anybody that wants water, that's elderly or homebound, just call me and I get it to them. And I'm asking you, me and my wife can't keep doing got people helping me, but I'm just asking for donations to help, you know, with these people. And the holidays coming up, and he just approved another 5 pallets. So we need this water for to get to these people, you know, like I said, the homebound and the elderly, you know. They need this water. So if y'all can, like I said, and if you know somebody that's elderly, just give me a call, you know, because I'm on Facebook and we just had it put in the paper, you know, by Mr. Doug. And like he said, you know, as long as I can get donations and he got water, he gonna help. So I'm just asking for donations.
I'll be happy.
Follow me, when the meeting follows it back, I'm gonna need some money for some water. Follow me to the back, I'm gonna need some money for
Like
some
I
water.
say, you know, if you know anybody
Show
that's
that I
elderly,
like you.
that
I'm gonna need
needs
some
water,
water.
that need water, just give me a call.
Follow me to the back, I'm
Can I
gonna need
get
some
your
tonight.
number?
Let's get the contact information after we finish up. Are there any other public comments?
But there's one thing I wanna get clear, cause I don't want folks to ever say I be telling stories. So now, at the last meeting, I brought up the fact that, any other public comments, I'm sorry, not that I'm gonna leave on like this. We were talking about the budget, and I made the comment that Madam Lewis came into a budget meeting, and she stated that she wanted to give an employee a raise. And at the last meeting, she said that she did not say that, which meant that I was not telling the truth on her. And I said that Ms. Harris was at that same meeting. So Ms. Harris, do you recall that statement being made in that meeting?
So,
So can you say what was said in that meeting and what my response was? Because I don't want you to say I said something that I'm telling stories on anybody.
She thought one of the employees needed a raise, and you told her that at this time, when you don't have the money in the budget, why would you want to give somebody a raise?
Right. So was that said or was it not said?
Yeah, you said that.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that I didn't say you said something that you didn't say. I just want to clear that up.
okay, so
Thank you. So
as I said before, we have already talked about where we were in the budget. It wouldn't make any sense for me to say anybody deserves a
Ms. Harris
raise.
telling the story as well?
I'm saying what I said. What you guys want to say is what you guys want to say. Okay? Is there anybody else? Yes, sir.
You see how you guys converse back and forth? When,
I'm sorry?
You see how you guys was conversing back and forth when it was someone antagonizing someone? The chief asked a question about his budget to get us more space back there. And nobody gave a comment, but every time somebody say something about what somebody said, y'all can comment on it.
But you know what, Mr.
Honestly,
Stewart?
honestly, it shouldn't have to be a comment because it's already
the
been approved. It
whole
should be
thing about
done.
it. See, this is the thing.
Can I
It should be
finish?
done.
To be honest,
Wait,
she
can I
really
finish?
shouldn't have to do that.
But can I finish?
Go ahead.
For the past 3 meetings, he just sat right there and raised his hand, and the interim mayor has brushed him off. Even when they was antagonizing Ms. Joy back here, he tried to say something. She closed the meeting down. He asked about his budget, nobody responded. We run a department to keep the city safe. He's the chief executive of the department, and nobody even acknowledged him. Why is that?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. See, really, once his budget is allocated, he doesn't have to come, and I told Chief that several times. According to the Larson Act, once his budget is allocated, we have no more say-so on how it's spent. The only thing he's supposed to do, and I made it clear to the chief, is give his requisition for how much something costs. He's going to go through the proper purchasing procedures that's in place, give it to Mr. Odom, and it's supposed to be done. It's not even supposed to come before us anymore.
But every time he say something,
No, this is what I'm saying. It's not supposed to even come to us.
So
Once
he can go Monday and tell the guys to come piece on his
he
bill.
can go
He can
tomorrow and turn in, as long as he follow the proper purchasing procedures, and turn the information in. If he has money in his budget, it's supposed to be done. So I don't say things, I said it from the beginning. And I told the chief he had control. And the chief started going crazy with me when I'm fighting for him. So the thing is,
No, I didn't.
so I stopped.
No, I didn't. Nobody has to tell me. Nobody has to tell me about my job description and how to handle the business because I'm very happy with how to handle the business. But what you guys, I understand.
see, once the budget is approved, it goes into effect December 24th. We're gonna get cited for that because they don't listen to me. When I say meet, they don't want to meet. But she can say when she want to meet, I don't want to meet with her.
Well, you made a comment, nobody said anything.
I'm gonna tell you, this is why. Listen to me why. Listen to me why. He doesn't have to get our approval anymore. Once we approve the budget, and it gives him his funds, the only thing he has to do is go through the proper procedures for purchasing something. He turned it in to Mr. Odom, and it's supposed to be done. So now, if he do that and it doesn't happen, that ain't on the council. That's on the chief now.
No. Hold on. Let's get this straight right now. It's nothing on the chief. What y'all don't realize, I understand what you're saying. It does. The Lawson Act does say once the money is appropriate, I can do it, spend it however I want as long as I stay within the budget. But what y'all don't realize, the money is operating out the general fund, which they control. Hold it now. You can say what you want to say now.
I know what you're saying.
You can say what you want to say.
I'm agreeing with
Now
you.
they control the money. Y'all can say what you want to say, but it's not even about the money. It's about the country. It's about that they already approved that the renovation could be done,
Chief,
and there's supposed to be no hesitation in it.
I'm
That's
not
all.
I'm not going against you, Chief. That's what I'm saying to you.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Calm down. I'm with you. Once you turn it in to Mr. Odom, if what it costs, your budget can cover that, it's supposed to be done. He cannot tell you we can't do it. Once we approve your budget, you have complete control. And according to the Lawson Act, and if you don't, that means they're breaking the law. I told you a long time ago. So if he does not allow you to purchase what you want to purchase, Mr. Odom is violating the law. Then that's supposed to come to us in writing, then that's supposed to be a signing on him. Because the law states that once your budget is approved by the council, you're responsible for it. And the only time you come back to the council again is that if your budget is about to exceed the 5% threshold of being over budget, of spending deficit. We have, once it's approved, Mr. Stewart, we have no more say so. Once the chief turns whatever he's going to get or want into Mr. Odom, if he has money in his budget, it's supposed to happen. That's the bottom line.
Okay, do we have any other public comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Turn it in tomorrow.
So moved.
And a second.
How much money you got in your budget?